down from that high, when I tell you the depression and anxiety kicked in out of nowhere, like I was already depressed. I was already, anxious, right? But I felt overwhelmed. I just wanted to die.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to die. And I went and got a knife out of the kitchen. And I walked outside. I'm like, man, I'm so scared on what I'm going to do to myself. So I called 911. I was scared. I'm like, hey, I'm scared right now. I want to hurt myself, but I don't want to hurt myself. And so the next thing, like 5 minutes later, a police car came. I was standing in the middle of the road at this point. Police car came. He got out the car. He see me with the knife. He put his hands up. Immediately said, hey, it's okay. It's all right. And he kind of talked me down. And I ended up going to a hospital in Arcadia, Louisiana. And it was a little small hospital. Literally everybody in my family showed up that night.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a few days later, my brother came down from Little Rock, Arkansas, about a 4-hour drive from Arkansas to Castor. 4-hour drive that night at midnight to do an intervention. And him and about maybe 5 or 6 of my cousins, they got together and did an intervention. And I went to rehab for the first time in Temple, Texas, not soon after that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a wild story.
Right? Yeah, there's plenty more.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that's one of the things in hearing about you and listening to your story a little bit and seeing your posts on social media, mm-hmm. It's beautiful to see where you are now,
right,
and to hear that story. And I think that's one of the things that people, if you've never been through that type of trauma or experienced that type of pain, people are like, why would you choose that? Why would you smoke, crack? Why,
right.
Like, better, right?
Right,
if you knew
right.
Jesus, how would you choose these things? And
right.
and the reality is that we're in so much pain.
Yeah, absolutely.
That we're just looking for anything to grasp.
Yeah.
Anything to grab onto.
Mm-hmm.
And so, there's people out there listening to this now that are in pain right now, currently.
Right.
That are like, man, I want to get out of this pain. And they're grabbing all kinds of stuff that they don't need to grab.
Right. Right.
And we were talking about it the other day. I said, in life, there's a lot of things that feel good when you do them initially.
Yeah.
That feel horrible after.
Right. Right.
Right.
Yes.
When you smoke crack, when you do drugs, when you smoke pot, when you watch porn, when you do whatever the thing is that,
right,
it's going to give you that high, that dopamine, that
just
that
for
charge
that moment.
for that moment.
Right.
And then you crash.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember the first time, I'd gotten back from Afghanistan and I was in the same